guys, Coach Shayna here, very excited. I have a question for you. In a digital world, why do we have so much paper problems? I don't get it. We're digital, but yet paper is like worse than ever. It's insane. Paper is almost the #1 problem every family function, office, whatever faces, okay? So you know what the good news is? You can pretty much get rid of all of it. All of it. Just listen to what I'm telling you here. Marie Kondo actually says that it doesn't matter what you do with papers, they're not going to spark joy, so you might as well get rid of them. So that's her method. And here's my problem. Here's my saying. Newsflash, you're never going to organize paper. I guarantee this amazing system that people will come, organizers will come in and help you like color code and file systems, and most of those are they're not functional, they're too complicated, they don't last very long, and they take a lot of time. And then they're hard, so nobody uses them. It's just crazy. So here is what we're going to do to overcome the paper problem. We're going to talk about where to keep them. We're going to talk about delaying decisions and how you can stop doing that. We're going to talk about getting rid of stuff. And then we're going to talk about the keepsakes a little bit, not too much because it's a tough spot, right? And you might need a counselor for that. Not me. Okay, so first of all, every single paper item in your home is going to be stored in one spot, just like every other category, every other room, every other thing we've talked about. Paper is gotta have a home, and all of it's going to be together. So, okay, what does that mean for you right now? That means when you're about to organize your papers, every one of them from every orifice, every space is going to come together. Yeah, it is, and it's going to be. That's why this video is toward the end, because it kind of is a bummer. It's a big old bummer, because what do we say? Paper doesn't give anybody joy. Maybe some of the kids' artwork, maybe some cards, keepsake paper sometimes does, but the rest of it doesn't. So bring it all. Get it all in one spot and go through it. Okay, now you're going to deal with them all at one time, and then you're going to store them all in one place. And here's the deal. You're actually only going to need 2 files if you were going to file it. And those files are keep forever and need immediately, okay? Those are the 2 files that you have. And when I say keep forever, I don't mean, your tax statements from 8 years ago. That can be digital. In fact, anything that can be digital and already probably is digital, or your tax accountant, you have an accountant that keeps it, you don't need to keep it in paper form, okay? What you do need probably is your passport. You do need your birth certificate. Those are 10 items total you need, maybe per person in your house. And those are the only things you need. If you had to prove that you are a human or you're an American, what would you need? And that's all you need. You don't need shot records from 10 years ago. You don't need shot records from 5 years ago. You actually probably don't need shot records at all. Again, I have a kid file on my Google Drive, and it's got their shot records, their teachers' numbers and contact, all that kind of stuff, in one file digitally, so it's out of my home, okay? And not to mention, your doctors keep the medical records. Okay? You don't need to keep them. Okay. Anyway, so you have what you need to keep forever, and you have stuff that you immediately need. And this is not to say I'm going to need this, or I need to go through this because I haven't dealt with it. It is something that you literally are like, in one week, I'm going to this doctor appointment and I need this prescription or whatever, or I'm going to this meeting and I have to turn this in or whatever, that you can't do it right now. You're going to need it. Not that you necessarily need it right now, right? Okay. Or if you're in school, it is what you need this semester. Not last semester, not next semester. You need. And it's not like the student code of handbook, whatever crap. You don't need that. It's online, okay? If it's online or can be put online, it's there. If you can't deal with it right now and it has to stay around for like the next week or maybe month, that's the second file. Those are the only 2 files you need, period. Okay? Stop wasting time. Looking for paper, the right paper, this other paper, is one of the #1 waste of time in homes and in offices. Stop wasting time looking for it by keeping it all in one spot and be done with it, okay? Now, the biggest way to make that possible is to stop delaying decisions and emotions. That is the #1 reason the papers creep up in our lives. You need to implement a one-touch system, period, done. Open mail over the recycle bin. I don't even don't bring it in the house. Open or trash can outside, the recycle, whatever it is. Go through it there, shred it into a million pieces if you need to. Do not let that crap into your house. That's the first step, okay? Now, if it is something that needs to enter the house, deal with it right now. Most things that you will have that you need to pay a bill, you need to turn in a form, you need to put something back in the mail, whatever. It takes less than 3 minutes. So just do it and and be done with it. Okay? Do not delay the decision making. Some of it requires a little more, am I going to do this or not? Just decide now. Stop putting it off. That just creates anxiety and gives you your future self something to do, and it clutters up your home. So just do it now. Be done with it. Have a ritual. Set it, a routine. Be done. Okay? And before you bring something in your house, be really, really, really honest with yourself. Are you really going to look at that catalog? Aren't you kind of busy? Don't you kind of not need stuff? So put it in the recycle bin. What about that coupon? Sometimes maybe I was going to go to Bed Bath & Beyond tomorrow. Perfect. Or it's like, I'm going out of town, / it's baseball season / whatever. I'm never going to get there this month. So I don't need to bring this in my house, because guess what? When you do, then stuff is laying around in your house and it's just rudely reminding you that it's just another thing you failed at or another thing you didn't get to. And we don't need that. Okay? We don't need that in our life. So don't even bring it in the house. That's the first thing. The second thing is, do it now if you need to bring it in your house. Just do it. It takes 3 minutes. I guarantee you. Most things do not take more than that. You have 3 minutes to get it done. Okay? Okay. Now, the second thing, so that's how we're dealing with stuff coming in. Now we need to get rid of stuff. Everything. You don't need manuals. They're online. You don't probably need warranties. The company has a copy of them. You probably can store that online if you absolutely have it, but most of them are probably expired anyway. Obviously, if you can, take a picture of it and file it electronically if you need it. Most of the stuff you don't need. Pay bills immediately and sign up for e-billing. Okay? Just do it. Don't succumb to the clutter. All of those things, get rid of them. What other papers do you have in your home that you really know that you don't need? You don't need those school paperwork from however long ago, work paperwork from however long ago. You just don't need it. You really don't. And it's not going to bring joy, and you actually really can't truly well organize it. So just get rid of it. Okay? The last thing is the keepsake items. And this is tough. And the truth is, it's going to be the last thing you're going to go through, because this was a skill. We talked about a little bit how nobody is born being organized. It is a skill you have to learn. Okay? So we're learning the skill, and so hopefully you've got a little bit. So now when you go through these keepsakes, you can be a little more discerning. Okay? Now, here's the thing. What I recommend is having a designated amount of space that you allow for your keepsakes. I have a really nice, pretty hat box, or actually I don't think it's a hat box, but it's from like Hobby Lobby, and it's a very pretty box. And if it doesn't fit in there, I don't get to keep it, okay? And I have ridiculous amounts of things, like reports I wrote in high school. I have love letters from Chris. I have military paper. I have all the kids' stuff. Letters my mom wrote to me in boot camp, like one. I picked the best one because she wrote me one every day because she loves me. But so I have all that stuff too. But it's one box, okay? And that's what I would recommend. Limit yourself to one space. First of all of it is going to go in one space, and all of it is going to maybe a pretty space in a limited space. Think about trying to do that. It's really hard. It's very emotional. And what I recommend is you deal with the emotion that the thing is that you're holding at the time, and then try to get rid of it. See if you can get rid of it, okay? But I'm not going to get too much into this because a lot of times it's crazy. I just will say that, remember, items don't represent people. They don't represent memories. The memory is the memory, and the people are the people. Items, not necessarily. But we're sentimental people, so you don't have to throw everything away. But try to be discerning about it. Try to maybe, instead of having everything, pick one thing that represents whatever it is. Your mom, a period in your life, your kid, whatever. Try to limit those things and try to really deal with the emotions at the time instead of just keeping them in a box. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that was it. I just want to talk to you about paper. You really don't need paper. Most papers that come into your home you don't need. They don't get used. They just clutter up, and then you can't find anything when you want to. So the tips for dealing with paper, they all go in one spot. Everything. If you have an inbox, then for stuff that you're going to have to go through, people bringing you stuff, then your papers, that's where your paper is stored as well, like underneath it or whatever. It's all in one spot. We're going to stop delaying decisions and emotions and get it done. We're not even going to let stuff enter our house if we can, because we're going to sign up for e-billing. We're going to open the mail before we come in. We're going to put kids' stupid stuff right in the trash. Like, no, I'm not going to every pizza party. It's not happening. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to get rid of stuff that we don't need that we can find online or we can store online. And then we're going to go through our keepsake items with a discerning eye with love still. Okay? So that's it. And I just want to motivate you because paper is probably the number one thing cluttering up your home. So deal with it now and be done with it. Okay? Now, your 10-minute challenge. I want you to do your mail the way I said. Outside. Don't bring it in. Get rid of it for a few days and see if it helps. Okay? Bye.